computer audio for the better quality. I mean, a better.
Okay. Okay.
Under the audio option, you have something called computer audio and phone audio. And here it's showing waiting for the name. So could you please introduce yourself? Mohit. Okay. Okay. Is there anyone else is going to join?
No, sir, we can start the class. They are not responding, so we can start. If they are available, they'll join the class.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, let me start sharing my screen, guys. Please let me know once you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, able to see your screen.
Okay, so Mohit, could you please introduce yourself? And Manoj, I think Manoj, we had some introduction. Mayank, you also please introduce yourself. I just want to understand. I just need your name and how many years of experience. What is the technology you're using?
Sure, Veera. Like Mayank here, I'm having around 9 years of experience, and I'm working in Microsoft technologies like .NET, SQL Server, SSIS. Those technologies I'm working in. I'm mostly into like database, so I'm trying to understand the Hadoop as well. That's why I've joined this training.
Okay. Manoj, you can also go ahead. I think Manoj and Mayank. Manoj and Mohit.
Yeah. Hi, Vera. This is Manoj. For the past 6 years, I have been associated with ETL testing. So I would like to understand the new technology big data, because these many days I have been using Informatica and data stitch alone. I don't know what's happening in big data. So if I get to know big data, I could change my opportunity. I can get another opportunity in big data as well, right? So I would like to move to another technology. Yeah.
Okay. Mohit. Mohit, could you please talk? Okay, we are not able to hear you. Okay, fine. Anyway, let's find not a problem. We'll just. Okay, so today we'll start with the Hadoop. Okay, we'll just. Sorry, Mohit, your audio is very. I mean, it's not even some echo is coming, but we're not able to hear you anything. Okay, so let's start. Let's start with the Hadoop. In the previous session, we have seen there's some problem with the traditional approach, and we have seen some how that problems has been solved by Hadoop. That's what we have seen in the previous session, right? If it's Gopi, if it's possible, please share that session with if it's possible, please share that session with Mohit as well. Okay, so today, yeah. So today we'll be start with the Hadoop. We'll try to understand what is the Hadoop, how it will work. Okay, so it will gives you some idea, Mohit. And anyway, the previous session audio we will share with you. That's a quite demo, but the same thing only we are going to look at here now. Okay, Hadoop. What is a Hadoop? As we discussed earlier, Hadoop is, what is a Hadoop? It is a Java based framework which stores huge amount of the data, And when I say huge amount, is not only huge amount, I mean not only size, guys, it also stores a different type of data, huge different type of data also, different types of data. It is a Java based framework which will store huge amount of different types of data, I can say. Okay, different types of the huge amount of the different types of the data. And it will also process, process the data in a parallel fashion. It means Hadoop is a framework. Hadoop is a framework. The framework is developed using Java. The framework is developed using Java. That framework will help you to store huge amount of the data with the different kinds of types of data with the different properties or different characteristics. And the same data, the same data will be processed efficiently and will be managed efficiently. That was the Hadoop does. It's a simple a framework. It's a simply a framework. So when we talk about the storage, when we talk about the process, so when we talk about the storage, is that a database? No, it is not a database. It is not a database. It is a file system. It is a file system. It is a file system. So when we talk about the storage, always we think about it is a data. I mean database. No, it is not a database. It is a file system. The data actually stores in the hard disk. That references will be maintained by the file system. The references will be maintained by the file system. And when we talk about the process, so it has its own processing mechanism, something called map reduce process, which is again developed using Java. The immediate next question is that, sir, you were telling you everything is Java. Does I need to know the Java? Does I need to know the Java? So the very big question is here from non-Java background people or non-programming people, do I need to learn Java? Yes. Yes, you need to learn the Java. Yes. Java is required. Java is required. And now it's a little advanced, something is called Spark. There we require a Scala or Python. Scala or Python. Yes, anyway, SQL, it's good to have. Everyone will be having SQL. So how much I should have? That's another next question is that, do I need to be a proficient or do I need to be expert in this? So you have to be either intermediate or, I mean, a good knowledge about that. So when it comes to Java, you should have a core Java knowledge. Core Java knowledge. When it comes to Scala and Python, again, I can say it's a beginner level to intermediate level of knowledge is required. So the next question is that, are you going to teach Java and Scala? Yes. Not Python. I'm going to teach you Java and Scala in detail. In detail. In detail. So not only is it restricted to our framework, which more than that we will be seeing in Java and Scala, which will help you to crack an interview Java questions, Scala questions. This is a part of the course content only. There is no separate you really no need to join a separate session for that, or no, you really no need to do anything separate for this. So it's actually part of your course itself. It's actually part of your course itself. Any doubt till here? Any questions from you guys? Any questions?
No questions, Veera.
Okay. Mohit, we're really not able to hear you. You might be talking something, but we're really not able to hear you. Yeah, if something is you want to convey, please type there. Okay. Yeah. Next. So when I say file system, when we say file system, Okay, and one more thing, guys. Let me list out here what are the topics we are going to cover as part of this course. Then we'll start actual the content for HDFS and MapReduce, and we'll start looking at them. So as part of this course, we are going to cover what is big data concepts. I can say what is a big data, how the big data looks, and what is the properties, and what is the characteristics, and what is the classification. We're going to talk about this. Then we're going to talk about HDFS, and HDFS and MapReduce together is called Hadoop. Okay, HDFS and MapReduce together will call as a Hadoop. HDFS, then Java, then MapReduce, then we'll be talking about something called Scoop. We'll be talking something called Hive. We'll be talking something called Flume. We'll be talking something called Kafka. No, Kafka will come in the later part. We'll be talking something called Flume, Hive, Flume. There is something called Uzi, and we'll be talking something called HBase. Okay, so HBase, let me put it. What is this components? Also, you'll also get some idea. HBase is a database on Hadoop. Uzi is a workflow tool. Workflow. We need to schedule the jobs, right? We'll be having so many jobs. So job 1, job 2, job 3, which job has to execute, we need to define, right? That is called workflow tool. And the Flume is streaming. There is some applications keep running. I need to bring the data from the server. Streaming log or something. Hive is a data warehousing system, DW on top of Hadoop. Data warehousing system on top of Hadoop. It's a database, and this is a data warehouse. I hope you guys might have know the difference between these two. And the Scoop is a tool which will get the data from RDBMS to HDFS. RDBMS to, there may be some use cases we need to get the data from RDBMS to HDFS. And MapReduce is a tool to process the data. Process. It's a framework. Internally, your Scoop, your Hive, your Pig, whatever we are going to list out, all are going to internally uses the MapReduce only. Java is a language, and HDFS is a storage for HDFS. Storage. And along with this, okay, let me put this Pig. There is something called Pig. Okay, so these are the components we are going to see as part of the Hadoop components. This is comes under Hadoop. When it comes to, there is another component called Spark. There, before getting into Spark, we will be seeing Scala, and we will be seeing the Spark. It's called Core, and there is something called Spark SQL. There is something called Spark Streaming. So we are going to see these tools in this. We are going to discuss more about these components, or I can say these tools, whatever we call, we'll be discussing about them. So along with this, and we'll be discussing about on project, and we'll be having a intermediate, in between interview questions. I'll be keep asking some interview questions, and we'll be having some mock test. And if you guys are ready to, we can have a mock test. Okay, and resume preparation, anyway, I'll help you on the resume preparation with the roles and responsibilities. So anyway, we're going to show some experience. So we really required what roles we are going to play. And along with this, there is something called AWS, Amazon Web Services, and under this we'll be talking about S3 bucket, we'll be talking about EC2, we'll be talking about EMR. Okay, and along with that, there is something called Kafka, it's the most important tool for the streaming, the data, real-time analytics for the streaming data. So these are the components we are going to see as part of the course. The course duration is only Hadoop. It will hardly take 2.5 months to 3 months, including Spark and all. It will go more than close to 4 months. Okay, the fee structure and all he will talk. The fee structure and all management will take care of it, and based on the course content you are selecting, the Hadoop and Spark both you are taking, or are you taking only Hadoop, or you are taking only Spark. So they the management will be talking to you. Any doubts till here, or do you want me to cover any Cassandra? There are some other tools, Cassandra, MongoDB and all of the really, so those are very easy tools. If anyone wants, we can have one-to-one discussion for one day or 2 days. We can give an introduction for that. Do you guys have any doubts, or do you guys want me to cover any other topic apart from the list?
Veera, in the big data class itself, you will be covering all these things, right? Because I could see some of the for Cassandra and all Cassandra that have been listed as a separate course. But
Correct.
you will be giving a overview for scoop, hype, frame, Uzi, everything. And we do have any practical sessions in it involved?
Yes, we will be doing a hands-on in the classroom itself.
Okay,
We will be
okay.
doing all hands-on in the classroom itself. You guys has to anyway you will be logging with your machines, and the
Mm,
Hadoop will be installed on your machines. And
mm,
so I'll be explaining the command here, and by sharing my screen, and you will be executing
mm.
the classroom itself.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And also I'll be giving you some use cases, like I'll be giving some data, and I'll be giving some use case. You guys will be do hands-on on it.
Okay. You are saying this course will take till 4 months, right?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
So it is not.
Yesterday when I checked
Yeah.
with the Gopi, he said for 1 month. That's why I asked.
No, it's a
That's what
depends.
I.
No,
Okay.
again, it depends. Okay, the way what you are really looking for it. Okay, you are looking for
Okay.
only Hadoop, like you want HDFS, Hive, Scoop, Flume, the simple components. Since the people are not from the programming backgrounds, the people are from the SQL, the right? They're they're
Yeah, right. I'm
they're
basically
actually
from
choosy.
SQL. Don't have any idea in Java at all. So that's why.
Yeah. So they're actually choosy. So what they will do, they want Hive, they want to Scoop, they want HBase, and they want HDFS. That's it. So
Hmm.
for them, 1 month is enough.
Okay.
Okay. Or
Veera,
when you want, yeah, go ahead, man.
am I audible?
Mohit, yes, you are audible now.
Yeah, actually, I'm a fresher right now, and I'm searching for job, and I'm well with the Java because I have the experience, part like 6 months of experience in the internship during my college,
Hmm.
and I want the good profession in the big data and Hadoop. So apart from that, one of the expert he told me that go with the Hadoop, and then you can must learn the Scala because you are the fresher. So that will help you to do all this thing.
That's correct.
So, yeah, and that's why I'm a little bit confused. But I must first go with the Hadoop or first the Scala, as you have listed out the Python also.
See, you have to the flow comes like from the Hadoop. The
Okay,
flow start from the Hadoop. You should understand what is the big data. You should understand what is the file system. You should understand what is the processing system. Then you should
okay,
understand the scope and all those things. Then you will go with the Scala. If you see
okay.
that, then it's the next. This is the part one. This is the part two.
And Scala is it's still similar to your Java language.
It's a functional programming language. It looks similar when it comes to object
Okay.
oriented.
Yeah,
Scala is a functional as well as object oriented programming language.
yeah.
That is a programming language, I can say.
Okay. And means how you will do the all the preparations like for the Hadoop proficiency and as well as the Scala preference because I'm a fresher and I don't have that much idea about the company expertise. So that's why I'm a little bit confused about the things whenever I will go for the interview process and all these things.
Yeah. So see, first thing for hands-on and all everything, as I told to as I was explaining to Manoj, we will be doing a hands-on in the classroom itself. You might have not seen, right? So say I'll be asking you guys to execute the command. You'll be executing. I'll be taking your machine into control. I'll be seeing that what you are executing. And if you're committing any
Okay.
mistakes, we'll be doing a hands-on in the classroom. That's coming to the technical part. Coming to how
Okay.
to interview, how to conduct attend the interview, how we can express myself. I have done this. So since you
Okay.
are a fresher, Since you are a
Yeah.
fresher, you have to put in your profile saying that Hadoop and Spark and Scala, Java, you know it, and
Yeah.
so you cannot really show any project, right? But what you
Okay.
can show that you have done some couple of POCs.
Okay.
The POCs data I will only give, and you need to just do a hands-on on that. You need to show that you have done these two POCs.
Okay. Because the
Okay.
right now the market is showing like the one of the expert he told me that for the Hadoop developer you must have at least 1 or 2 year of experience. So that's why you must go with the Scala, because the Scala is the beginning level programming language for by using the Hadoop technology. So that will be very sufficient for you. So first go with
See,
the Hadoop and then that's why.
yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say, Mohit. That's
Yeah.
the reason very first time I said that you will not be having any experience, but you have to
Yeah.
mention these technologies in profile. Your profile
Okay.
will have a weightage. Your profile will have a weight.
Okay.
So there are so many companies who are hiring 1 year, 2 years of experience of the Hadoop guys. My students itself is joined. British Telecom, one of my students joined with a 1.5 years of experience. And there
Okay.
is one more student who was working for IBM in the desktop support, and he joined some other company with 1 year of experience. The
Okay.
freshers, I really didn't see any freshers join, but the freshers, how they join as a fresher. Since they have a Hadoop and all these technologies in this profile, they give the priority.
Okay.
Okay,
So
learning wise,
how like
learning wise, the Hadoop and Scala Spark is it will give you the better career. I can say you will get a very good career on this part.
okay.
Yeah. Any other
Uh,
doubt, Mohit?
yeah, and how much time it will take means 2 or 3 months to complete the
The
job session.
complete course, the Hadoop and Spark, Scala, Java complete course, it will take 4 months.
Will take 4 months.
Yes.
And
Since we are going
So
to see,
Veera,
since we are going
Veera
to see,
Mankar,
yeah, Mayank,
yeah, continue. So I was asking like 4 months, like everyday class, Monday to Friday, or will it be like
Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday, every day 1 hour.
okay,
So why I am given this much duration, we are going to see bit by bit. It
okay,
is not, see, as I was explaining to Manoj, the big data HDFS, MapReduce, Hive, Scoop, and HBase, we can cover in 30 days. 30 days means, and if you take out the 4 weekends, so hardly comes 22 to 25 working hours, right?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
25 hours. We can complete those many. But so that's not really, that's really not help you guys. Though since it is a new technology, you really need to understand the how piece by piece, I can say bit by bit.
Okay,
If I start explaining everything in a single day, so if you take my demo class, we have completed Hadoop. Actually, we have everything. We have done that there.
right.
I have shown you HDFS. I have shown you the architecture. I have shown you the how the data will store. Everything is done. So nothing is there in it. But how we will write that? What are the commands will be there? So that's where the time will take. I explain you the data will load into HDFS. Data will go to the one machine. How the data will go? We need to write some query. We need to write some command, right? Those will we will cover one by one, one by one.
or Veera, you will provide some project also so that we will be efficient to know the actually how actually Hadoop work and all this Scala.
Yes, the project in the sense that I'll not be providing you a real-time project. I'll not be providing any code. What I will give a data. I'll give you use
Okay,
cases. I'll explain a
okay,
project. I'll explain two,
okay,
three projects. That should
okay,
be actually for experienced persons. They're going to keep their experience in the projects, right? I'll explain the
okay,
projects, how it will work, how it lasts. That projects they help them to explain the interviewer. When you go for interview, first they will ask, explain about yourself and explain me what is the current project.
okay.
They will not ask the direct entry questions, right? They will ask the first what is your current project. So to explain that current project, I'll give the enough information for them to explain that.
Actually, for them, like these two guys are experienced, so they can as I'm a fresher, so how I will show experience, like express myself as I have done the project in so and so. So the
That's what I
experience,
said, right? So the internship, whatever you have done with the Java, right? You
yeah,
can say that you have done in the that is a POC.
okay,
6 months, 6 months you can show two POCs, 3 month, 3 month, or 2 month, 2 months and 4 months.
okay, okay. Got it.
So you can say that I got trained from them and I have done the POCs. So since they didn't get a project, so I didn't get permanent position there organization. You can say that. Being a
Okay,
fresher,
no
the
problem.
advantage is that the advantage is that you really no need to worry about the what will be the project. You really you will not fail in the interview for explaining the project.
Yeah.
You may fail. I mean, you in the sense, and any person can fail the technical questions only. But
Okay. Yeah.
experienced person who goes experience, he has to explain the project. While explaining the project itself, they will understand whether it's a real or fake.
Yeah. Yeah. It's up to
That's a challenging.
that person.
Yeah, that's a challenge for the experienced person. So
Okay.
that's where I
So
explain that. I'll explain 2-3 projects.
so for the freshers point of view, there is no any kind of worry. It means like that.
No need to worry about the project perspective. At least the project perspective. Technical,
Okay.
yes, you have to prepare well in the technical point of view, because these days the freshers and experienced, the almost questions are similar, but experience will
Okay.
get the real time kind of questions, but the freshers will get the straight questions like interview. I mean, what is that?
Okay.
What is this kind of things?
Okay. Okay. Some
Clear?
technical regarding questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Manoj, do you have any question? Manoj and Mayank?
No, it's clear to go.
Mayank?
Yeah, Veera, from my side as well. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay, let's take a simple introduction about the Hadoop. As I said, that is a Java-based framework where you store a huge amount of the data, and it will also be get processed by using MapReduce in the parallel fashion, right? That's what we just had a definition about this. Then let's look at how it will work. How it will work. Okay. So, if you guys are not talking, please keep yourself mute, uh, which will help others to not get disturbed. So I'm keeping everyone mute. If anyone wants to talk, please unmute and talk. Yeah. Okay. Look at guys here. As I said, Hadoop can store the data, huge data. It can store the data, and it can also process the data. When I say store, how it will store? Is it a database? No, it is not a database, as I said before. It's a file system. Then what type of file system it is? It is a Hadoop distributed file system. And when I say process, what is a process? The data, processing the data. I mean, I can say ETL. Exactly, I can use here ETL. Process. How will I process? I'll be having two type of functions or two type of transformations here. One is a map and the other one is reduce. Together we'll call as a map reduce framework. Okay, let's talk about the HDFS, the most important for a Hadoop admin and Hadoop developer, the most important component and I can say the pillar of your Hadoop. Okay, what is the HDFS? The HDFS, full form of HDFS is Hadoop distributed file system. HDFS is Hadoop distributed file system. The name itself is saying that I'm not a database, I am a file system. And the map reduce, as I said, is a map and reduce, two transformations. I can say two operations. This is operation 1, this is operation 2. Actually, we'll talk about that later point of time, how it will work and how it will be, how we'll apply the first operation, how we'll apply the second operation. So just to give an introduction, without having a first operation, there won't be a second operation. So the second operation, the reduce operation, is completely dependent on the map operation, and the map operation is not dependent on the reduce operation. You can have only map operation, you no need to have a reduce operation. But if to have a reduce operation, we should have a map operation. The reducer is dependent on this, but map is not dependent on this. Okay, for just an introduction for that. So let's talk about the distributed file system. So what is a file system? Let's talk word by word. File system.
which stores the file system shows the details about where the file has been stored, the metadata, the references of the file. File system shows the references of a file.
Okay, Mayank.
Yes, same thing, Veera. Like it holds the reference to the physical path where the file is stored on the hard disk or on the
Yes.
file system.
So the file system is a system who manages your files and folders, right? It means who keeps the references of the data which is stored in the hard disk. That's what we have seen in the last class, right? So then what is a distributed file system? What is a distributed file system? The data is distributed across the multiple machines and the data will be get processed with the multiple machines. Let's take a simple example. I have 1 TB data. I have a machine 1, non-distributed. I'm talking about non-distributed. Machine 1. Okay, let me show a slide for this, which will help you to understand very simply. So we'll talk about all these things, big data, those things. We started talking about HDFS as an introduction for the Hadoop. Let's look at that. We'll also talk about this. The best examples are there. Yeah. Look at this environment. I mean, look at this, the difference between the normal file system and the distributed file system. When you have a normal file system, you'll be having a different machines with a different IP addresses. And when you want to process a data, and suppose you want to have employee data, you have to go and log into this machine, and you need to get the data. When you want to salaries, you have to go and log into this machine, you need to get that information, that data. When you want the projects, you have to log into this machine, you need to get it. When you want the software, if you look at here, there are individual machines with the individual IP addresses. You need to log into each machine individually. Suppose if you have 100 machines, 100 times you need to log into 100 attempts. You need to enter your username, password, or 100 times you need to remotely take those machines and you need to process it. Normally in the Linux world, we will log into those machines by using SSH. It means 100 times you need to do on SSH to get the data. But if we have something like a distributed file system, the multiple machines are connected. The multiple machines are connected together into the single server, and if you log into that server is enough. If you look at here, www.distributedfilesystem.com, it's not actually a name, it's just one IP address I'm trying to say. So we have a Facebook, we have a Twitter, we have a Google, we have so many the social media search engine machines, search engine websites are there, right? So when we log into a Facebook, do we really talk into a single machine or collection of machines? So it means the data is distributed across the multiple machines, but you're accessing from the single window. Your Google, they have the thousands of servers are running, thousands of servers. So, but when you say www.google.com and you are connecting to one machine, and that machine is interacting with the multiple machines. So that machine is connected to other machines. That environment will call as a distributed file system. Do you guys understand the distributed file system? You'll be connecting to one path, and you'll be having you'll be having so many machines. So if you look at in our office environments, we will be having only one host name, or I can say only one path. That's like a share. When I log into /share, normally the companies will be having a shared drives. When I say /share, there are thousands of machines, or the hundreds of machines are get connected to this, configured to this. It means the employee A can share any data, employee B machine can connected here, employee C machine, employee D machine, all the machines are connected to this drive or this machine, this server. this machine. So any employee wants to access the data of A or data of B or data of C and D, if you just connect to this machine, which is the shared path, he just connect to the shared path, he can start accessing that data. Yes or no? For this employee, for this guy, it is a single, it looks like a single hard disk. He's not connecting to multiple hard disks. He's not connecting, he's not entering the multiple times the username password. He's not connecting differently for the multiple machines. He's connecting to one machine. As soon as they connected to one machine, all the machines information is available here. What are the information is shared, all the shared information is started available here. So it means you are connecting to only Facebook, you are trying to able to see all the data from the different machines. You are connecting to only www.facebook.com one machine. That machine, since it is connected to the so many machines underneath, you are able to see the data from all the machines. That type of architecture, that type of machines, that type of systems, or that type of file system, we will call distributed file system. We'll call distributed file system. What is the advantage of having a distributed file system instead of normal file system? Look at here. If it is a normal file system, you have to log into each machine individually. So many attempts you have to make. And if it's a distributed file system, only one attempt, single attempt, you single login, right? Next one is processing. If you look at the processing point of view, you'll be having only one machine who stores 1 terabytes of the data, a very big machine. It's a very big machine who stores only 1 terabytes of the data, and that machine that machine started processing the data. Let's assume that that machine started processing the data. That machine has the data transfer rate is already 100 mbps. That machine has a 4 IO channels, 4 cores are available. Let's assume that. Now to process 1 TB data, one machine, how much time it will take? If the same data has been distributed across the multiple machines or 10 machines, the same data, same 1 TB data has been distributed, some part of the data here, some part of the data here, some part of the data here, like that. It has been distributed across all the machines. Then I started processing the data parallelly. Then how much time it will take? Who will take how much time? Which one give you the better performance? That's what we are going to calculate now. If you have one machine, the the time to find the time, I think someone has doubt. Manoj?
No. You
Okay.
go.
Yeah. So to find the time, how much time it will take? So time equal to data by speed. So the data, how much speed you are accessing or how much speed you are processing, right? So data is, I said 1 TB, right? 1 TB in MBs, if you convert this much, it will come 1,48,000. No, not 1 lakh, 10,48,000 it will come. 10,48,750, 576 MB it comes. Why I need to convert into MB? By my speed is in MB, right? My speed in MB, 100 Mbps, 100 Mbps. So 100 MB for each core. How many cores I have? 4 cores. I have how many cores I have? 4 cores. It means 4 into 100 into 60. It is 100 per second, right? It's a seconds, right? I need into minutes. I want the results in a minutes. That's the reason into 60. So when I calculate this, I'll get the 43, close to 44 minutes. I'm getting that. Close to 44 minutes for one machine. For the same information, same type of machines, I have 10 machines. How much time it will take? 4 minutes only, right? 4 minutes only it will take. It means since you have so many machines are working together, since you have so many machines are working together, you are achieving the better performance. You are completing the task, you are completing the reading operation or write operation with a less amount of time since you have so many machines. Is that clear about the distributed file system? About the distributed file system?
Yes, clear, Vira.
Mayank? Mohit?
Yeah, I'm clear.
So to put into very simple way for the Mohit, if you're processing the data with one machine, it will take so much of time. The same data is processing with the multiple machines, it will take less amount of the time. Very simple. Okay. Now already we have a file system. Then why should I go with the Hadoop file system? Hadoop file system is a special kind of file system. The way it stores the data, the way it reads the data is different. What is that different? Before getting into that differences, before getting into that differences, and try to understand. Okay, let's try to understand that differences. Then we can show the difference between the SQL and the difference between the SQL and Hadoop. We can see that later. So how it is different from the normal file system or distributed file system? So it is different because you have the Hadoop file system. When we say it's a Hadoop file system, it follows some architecture. Okay, it follows its own architecture. It's also distributed file system. It follows the different kind of architecture than other architectures. If you go with the other architectures, like it's a client server architectures, but when you go with the Hadoop file system architecture, it's a master slave architecture. To create that architecture, we need a two type of machines. We need a two type of machines, not two machines, two type of machines. It means it can be 100 machines, but in that two types, two categories. One category is a master type. The master type will call as a name node. The master type machine will call as a name node. He's like a manager. He's like a manager. And the second one is second type of machines. Those are called data nodes. We'll call them as the slaves. We'll call them as the slaves. We can call them as a slave. Now here, this is a master layer. This is a slave layer. Okay, and one more thing I would like to bring to you guys. This is the architecture of the HDFS in the real time, right? You will never have access to a cluster. Okay, so make sure that you never will be having access to a cluster directly. You will be having one machine in between. That machine will call client or gateway or edge node. These are the three terminologies we'll call this: client or edge or gateway. We'll be having a gateway machine, then only we can talk to this. Okay, the client machine, gateway machine, also a machine which has the Hadoop software in it. We will talk about that later point of time. So your Hadoop cluster, what it says that this it's also distributed file system. Here also, if you look at here, there is one machine which is connected to multiple machines, as similar as the other architecture which I shown here. This architecture and that architecture both are same, right? Looks same, right? But here it's a client server architecture. It is a client server architecture. Client server architecture. But here it is a master slave architecture. Look at the differences, guys. Here your client can store some information, your server also can store some information, but here only the slaves will store the information, no one else. We will see that. So the Hadoop file system comes with the default properties. Your Hadoop file system comes with the default properties. What are they? The default properties are like, as we know that the data will store in the file system as in the blocks, right? Yes or no, Manoj and Mayank, who attended my last session?
Yeah,
The
it
data will
will
store
be
the
in
blocks, right? Any data,
blocks.
any file system. Even to make Mohit to understand, if you try to load the data into a hard disk, or if you try to load the data into a pen drive, if you try to load the data into anywhere, internally the data will be load into piece by piece, piece by piece. It looks like a single file, but it's not actually a single file. Internally it is a multiple small pieces clubbing together. It looks like a single piece for you, single file for you. Internally it is a collection of pieces. That piece of data will call as a block. The piece of data will call as a block. But Hadoop says that the piece of data which Hadoop stores is a very big piece. That is 128 MB piece. It's a really big. 128 MB is really big. So if you take your resume, maybe I may have 5 pages of resume. I may have 6 pages of resume. What will be the size of it? It will be in KBs. If you take such kind of things, the 128 is a very big. And it says that it has some property like by default, I will store 3 copies for the fault tolerant. So what does it mean? Hadoop says that you really don't worry about the failures. You will never lose the data. I will make sure that the data will be available somewhere here. It means it will maintain something called duplications. That's called replication factor. By default, the replication factor is 3. What Hadoop says that if you have one file, one file, you really don't worry. I'll take a backup of that file. 3 missions by default. I'll take a backup of that file in 3 missions by default. Okay, for the fault tolerant. If anyone is damaged one mission, you really not to worry. There are 2 more copies will be available for you. It can be controlled by ourselves. It means we can do that. We can change to 1, or we can change to 2. We can change to 100 also. So based on the number of missions we have. We can change that. Okay, let's look at guys now. So when this is the architecture, one will be the master, one will be the slave. The master will give instructions to the slave, like our manager and a normal team member. And here, when I have a data, let's say I have a data of 1 GB file. I have a data of 1 GB file. The 1 GB file will be break into pieces. Each piece size will be 128 MB. Each piece size will be 128 MB. Now, I'm trying to show how it is better than other file system. Now, pieces will store the different missions, guys. The pieces will store in the different missions. So in this case, all the pieces are storing. Let's say I have a employee file. This is the file of employee. This employee file will go to mission A. I have a file or data, I can say student. This data will go to mission 2, and so on. It means complete data is going to single mission. Whole data is going to single mission. Look at here. I have the same employee file here. I have a same employee file here. This employee file will not go to the single mission in Hadoop. How? So the employee file, first it will break into pieces. Each piece size will be 128 MB. It will break into pieces. 1 GB file means we will get 9 blocks. So you can take your calculator. You can say 1 GB means 1024 divided by 128. So 8 pieces are coming. 8 pieces are coming. So not 9 pieces, 8 pieces. So 8 pieces will come. Now this file is converted into 8 pieces. The piece name is block 1, block 2, and so on, block 8. Okay, assume that. Now what we will do when we load this employee file into Hadoop, okay, we are telling, hey, load this file into Hadoop. When we do that operation will call as a put, guys. That operation will call put. There are different operations. Put hyphen copy from local. We will talk about these commands, okay. Hyphen move from local. These are the commands. We'll talk about these commands later point of time in detail. When I'm putting this file into Hadoop, what Hadoop internal it will do, what internal to do, I'm not really getting into very detail. So anyway, we have a separate sessions for that. This file will be broken into pieces, right? 8 pieces came, no? It will distribute the pieces. Piece 1 will go here, piece 2 will go here, piece 3 will go here, and piece 1 may, again it has to be duplicate, no? Piece 1 here, piece 1 here, and piece 2 here, piece 2 here. I may have some animations. It means the single file is broken into pieces. The pieces are distributed across the multiple machines. The pieces are distributed across the multiple machines. So the reference has to maintain, no? Now let's take a simple example. I have, let's take a simple example. Yeah, I have a bunch of work. Let's assume that I'm a client or a team manager. Let's take I'm a client. I have a bunch of defects. Bunch of defects. Defects means issues. Bunch of problems. Now the bunch of problems I started giving to distributing the team members. And let's say Manoj, I have 2 issues. Mayank, I have given 2 issues. Mohit, I have given 1 issue. Right? Then I have distributed work to the, it's a single work only. The client is single only. The work is single only. But the work has been split into pieces and I distribute across you 3 people. Now I should maintain the reference for that. I should maintain the reference for that. Yes or no? Being a manager, tomorrow I need to know to whom and all I have given. I should maintain the references, right?
Yes, you need to
That
maintain reference. Yeah.
that references will be maintained by your manager or your master. What your master will do, where is the block 1 stored in what are the machines? Machine 1, machine 3, machine 5. I'm randomly taking. Okay. Where is a block 2 is stored? Second, fourth, sixth. It can be anything. Where is a block 3? It went 1, 2, 3. Where is a block 4? It can be in other machines and so on. It means a single file has been distributed into 10 machines. Now you guys tell me, will I get a better performance or not while processing? The same employee file, 1 GB file, same employee 1 GB file is processing by this machine A. Same 1 GB file is processing by one machine only processing. So they are reading or doing something. They are finding the maximum salary. Let's assume that they're finding. I have employee data in the employee data. I want to find the maximum salary. Only one machine is running to find the maximum salary. Data is 1 GB. But here I have a 10 machines. And data is given across the some multiple people. The work has been spread across the multiple people, and I ask them to find the maximum salary. Who will give the first result? Who will give the better performance? A single machine or multiple machines? Mayank?
Multiple mission.
Obviously multiple machines. Why? Because the each machine will start working on each piece. Correct? Let's take I have only 3 pieces here. This machine will start work on this piece. This machine will start work on this piece, and this machine will start work on this piece. The parallelly they started processing the data into 3 different pieces, and they will take the results and they will club it. So since your Hadoop will give a better performance than non-Hadoop environment, that's what I'm trying to show you a difference here. Is that clear here? Any doubt till
One
here?
question here, Veera.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Veera, you said maximum salary, right? For example, in the employee table, the salary will be stored in, for 9,000 is the salary will be stored in A, B, C, every, because it will be having the copies of the duplicates. But each in each node, it will be showing the maximum salary as 9,000, 9,000, 9,000. Then it is a duplication, right? Then how we can avoid that? It's not, it is of no duplicates.
Very good question from Manoj. It's a really very good question. Let's look at, guys. Now what Manoj is telling, the piece 1 says that when he's processing a piece 1, he found 10,000 is the highest salary, correct? And when I'm processing piece 2, he says that no, in my case 8,000 only the maximum salary, because individual, right? They're all individual. and piece 3 says that no guys, I found myself 20,000 is the maximum salary. Okay, when they are individually doing, that is called your map operation. That is called your map operation. Map operation will gives you intermediate data like this, individual output. Now this data again will take to reduce phase, reduce operation. What reduce operation will do internally, I mean, we have to write a logic. Okay, it will not automatically do that. So the reduce operation gives you a final result saying that, oh no guys, 20,000 is the maximum salary. Okay, this is one question. Okay, let's come to the what Manoj raised the question. Manoj telling that the mission 1 has the piece 1, piece 2, piece 3. That's what you're trying to say, Manoj?
Yeah, right.
But your mission is smart enough to choose only individual pieces. It will not select all the. See, if suppose mission 1 is processing a block 1, mission 2 will process a different block. It will not process the same block. See here, let's take up here only. 1 second, let me select a different color. Okay, now look at guys here. Yeah, the piece 1 is stored in 3 missions, correct? Now it's actually a duplication, correct?
Yeah, right.
And piece 3 also there in one mission 1, correct?
Yeah, right.
So now the mission 1, what mission 1 will do, it will choose the piece 1, and mission 1 may select the piece 2 also, because multiple cores will be there. Okay, now none of other mission will choose these 2 blocks. None of other mission will choose this. None of other missions will not choose these pieces. Do you understand what
Yeah,
I'm
it
trying?
will be. Yeah, right, right.
So it will process only individual blocks. It will process only individual blocks. It will not process any other blocks. Okay. It will process only individual blocks, either it's mission 1, mission 2, mission 3, any mission. Actually, who will assign the task? Your manager will assign the task. You tell me your manager will give the same duplicate work to you and your friend.
No.
So similarly here also, your name node, actually it's not name node, internally something called job tracker, task tracker, and we'll call this as resource manager and application master, node manager. We'll talk about that later. So those guys will be assigning the work. Those guys will not assign in the duplicate work. That's simple, as simple as that.
No, Vira, my question here is, you said that the salary, for example, in employee table, for take me, Manoj, I am getting salary 10,000. My salary will be stored in machine, that means block 1. In here data node block 1 also, Manoj salary is 10,000, it will be stored. In block 3 also, Manoj salary is 10,000 will be stored. If you get the salary from maximum salary from B1 and B3, my salary will be listing there, because it will be a duplication, right? Because my the same my salary only stored in 2 machines, B1 and B3.
It is not,
Then
it is
is it
not,
be?
it is not a problem, right, Manoj? See, let's say,
Oh,
let's take example here. Let's take example. Employee 1, Manoj, 10,000.
yeah.
2, Mohit, let's say 8,000.
Hmm.
3, Mayank, 12,000 rupees. Let's assume that. I'm just taking.
Yeah, sure.
Again, 1, Manoj, 10,000 rupees.
10,000, yeah.
And let's say 4, some Ravi, some 5,000 rupees. Let's say I have like this. Okay. Now your question is what you're trying to say. Let's say, okay, let me take one more. Okay, it will be very much clear. Veera, 15,000 is there. Now I broke into P3 pieces. Okay, I'll broke into 3 pieces. This is the piece 1. Okay, piece 2. Okay,
Yeah.
piece 3. This is block 1.
Hmm.
This is block 2. This is block 3. So when you apply a logic, maximum salary logic, okay, when I apply the maximum salary logic and this first two records only, right? Block 1 only, I'll apply that operation, right? One second. When I apply my logic on this piece, It will check which is the greater in this Manoj. Employee
Manoj.
1 is more. Okay. And when I apply the same logic in the this block 2, let's assume that your name only came. Let's take Mayank is 9,000. Your name only came.
9,000. Okay. Manoj.
Oh, Manoj only
10,000.
came. 10,000. And when I apply the same logic in block 3, Veera will come. Like
Yeah, right.
5,
Hmm.
15,000. Now, this is just a one operation I told you, right? It's just a map operation. Correct?
Okay. Yeah.
This is just a map operation. And I have reduce operation, right?
Oh, yes.
Now, here I need the final aggregated value, right? I don't want the individual values. I want the
Okay.
aggregated value. Then I should go with
Max of
reduce.
salary. Hmm.
Max of salary means only one value will come, right?
Yeah, sure.
There won't be 3 maximum values. Only one maximum
Hmm.
value will be there. So
Hmm.
now, these 3 records will go to whom? Reducer. And what the reducer will give as an output? Only one guy will give the output, right? What is the
Yeah,
maximum in these
15,000.
3?
15,000.
Now tell me whether your
Okay.
doubt is cleared or not,
Yeah, right. Clear. Yeah.
right? This is how it will
Hmm.
work.
Oh, sure. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Veera.
Yeah. So it's already 8:50. We'll continue next tomorrow, and Gopi will intimate you. I think meeting ID will be same. I think Gopi will intimate you. So this is what for today, and we'll continue tomorrow comparing with SQL and comparing with differences between SQL and the Hadoop, and how Hadoop is better. We'll be seeing that tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Veera, is there any certifications we will be going through in this session? Any external certification will be obtaining? Any exam
Yes.
will be there?
If you complete this course,
Okay.
you can eligible to write 3 certifications.
Okay.
You can write one Cloudera certification, not 3 only. There are a couple of certifications you can write, because since they're also considering the same thing. So Hadoop and Spark, you can write a
Okay.
Hortonworks certification. You can write Cloudera certification. Or you can also write any other certification.
Okay. That we need to write it on your own. It is not part of this course. It won't be a part of this
No,
course,
no, no,
right?
no, no. So certification
Okay.
cost itself 22,000 rupees.
Okay.
The token itself is
Okay.
22,000 rupees. And
Okay.
you have to be in front of your camera, your laptop, which should have a web
Okay.
camera, and you have to write an
Okay.
exam. So the exam will
Oh.
be based on exams. So one exam will be 120 minutes, 120 minutes. One
Okay.
exam will be different. And some guys will give
Okay.
only scenario based. Some guys will be multi choice. So it depends on the certification where they.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it for today. We'll meet tomorrow and
Mm.
have it.
And Veera, one suggestion will start by 7:30 or max by 7:40. Then if it drags,
That's
then
it.
it will be a
7:30,
delay.
7:40. No. 7:30, 7:40 only. Max is 7:30.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye.